I guess when one PR stunt fails, you just go on to the next one.
Whoa!
Well, what we have seen recently is a bunch of Hollywood actors throwing their weight, as heavy or as light as it was, behind political candidates. And instead of making it about the art and the films that they're in, they're instead making everything political and getting into personal decisions. That didn't work out so well for them. So now a lot of them are they're trying to double back real quick and go back to what their job actually is, which is film. We talked about this with Tom Hanks, going back to, what do audiences actually want to see in film rather than spouting a bunch of political nonsense. There's a lot of people who have been doing this recently. I think Clooney said he was stepping away from politics entirely. I highly doubt that. We'll see how long that takes. Probably a New York weekend. And now we have The Rock, who has made some blunders, but this buffoonery never ceases to amaze me. So, in an interview with GQ, Dwayne The Rock and What Is He Cooking Johnson told his agents after Scorpion King, that was like 2002, that I could be bigger than Will Smith or George Clooney. They doubted him, so he got new agents. Um, this is kind of like a pick me attitude. That might not be the exact best way of saying it, but when you're taking the biggest stars on the planet at during that time, okay, maybe not George Clooney, because what do we really know him from? Like, what is he memorable in? He's Danny Ocean, and he's the smooth talking swindler from A Brother Where Art Thou. Will Smith, yes, absolutely. So this is just a hubris. But the fact that he had this hubris and they gave him doubt, he got new agents. High maintenance, anybody? Yes, this thumb has very high maintenance. I guess it has to be the. Never mind, I shouldn't say that. So, while he was headlining one family movie after another following the launch of his acting career with The Scorpion King, it was successful, but he wanted more. I mean, I do agree. I mean, I do like the drive that, okay, he got into this, he's had some success, he's got the taste for it, he wants more. And of course, he's going to pick the people who he thinks are the biggest and be like, I want to be bigger than them. I want to be bigger, better. That's just that's that passionate competitive drive. Totally got you with that. The thing that I take issue with it is when they were just like, you just started, man. You went from a wrestler to like a gag like Hulk Hogan in kids' movies. Might be a little skeptical. I'm not saying you can't do it, but I'm also saying this is going to be, a lot of effort. And then he just fires him. Sounds like one of the guys you want to hang out and drink a beer with. So, as reported in the GC cover story, which is basically the title of this article, that was the idea back then. I could be bigger. And I mean that respectfully, but also maybe do things differently because there's no blueprint for a guy like me who looks like me. What do you mean, a guy who looks like you? Tell me exactly what you mean by that. Is it, I don't know, is it a human thumb? Is it this giant steroided butt plug? Is that what you mean by who looks like you? Is it someone of Hawaiian descent? Why do you, oh my gosh, these people, they hold so much value on their ethnicity while not even holding their own cultural values. It's all a virtue signal. And I'm not even here to crap on The Rock. I'm just reporting the story, but like there's so many red flags already going off in my head. But I feel now, looking back on the career, bigger than Will, bigger than George, I think the declaration is just different with no context. Johnson is now one of the biggest actors and producers in the world. Biggest is weight and producers in the world. His total box office earnings are well above the 4.5 billion mark, which means he was quite successful in his mission. There's a difference between projects that you've been a part of that were extremely profitable, and there's a difference between people going to the movie theaters just to see you. Need we mention stuff like Skyscraper? Do you even wanna bring that up, brother? How did he do it, though? Part of his talent, he told GQ, was not only picking the right projects that appeal to his fans, but also choosing the right time to release them. This just sounds like PR nonsense. This is all cope. Or maybe he just is just, micromanaging with his agents and everything like that. Some things have worked out, some things didn't. He tries to give examples, so the date is Christmas X year, year and a half, 2 years before that, there's our date. Well, now you have to put into production something that it has to be written, revised, edited, accepted, shot, edited, yet once again, all through pre-production and advertised and then released. Oh my gosh. The amount of steps that go through all of that, it takes me a second to contemplate. Now here comes the film. Now we work backwards from there, and I found myself doing that for years, actually, and it worked and it served me back then because it helped build my career. Helping build your career is basically taking any job that you can because you're lucky enough to be in any film that's released in worldwide theaters. I had this conceit and I idealized what my career should be. Yeah, great. Talk yourself up more. Talk to us about Joe Biden as well. Audience first. Let's take care of the audience first. So, what did the audience want to see? They wanted to see The Rock, the wrestler, do action things. And that's basically all it was. He was built and his persona was built to be an action star. Maybe slightly cute and cuddly. What was I can't even remember the name of that movie. Wasn't The Nanny, but it was something where he was babysitting kids. It was like, oh, okay, he can flash that little smile and keep both of his eyebrows above his eyes rather than crooking that one down. So I get a piece of material, I'd look at it and think, okay, does this have four quadrant capability and opportunity? Are audience going to like seeing me in this role? This is actually this is a good way once you have the capability of choose picking and choosing your roles, this is a good way of looking at it. I agree with that. That's not what he said in the beginning. The beginning was straight up Vince McMahon style, like, this is my hubris, this is what I want. If you disagree with me or question me in any way, you're fired. So it does say that his mindset led him to a big and broad Hollywood career with huge hits like Moana, the Fast and the Furious franchise. He was not the star of the Fast and Furious franchise. He didn't come in until way later. That franchise was built on people way before he ever showed up. Jumanji and more. That was another ensemble cast with highly paid actors. So he was sharing the cost of that. So that $4.5 billion thing, this in no way is going into his pocket. His latest movie, the Christmas action comedy Red One, which I haven't even seen a trailer for. Also, I haven't looked for it. Debuts in theaters November 15th. So, what I would really want to glean from this, or am gleaning from this, is that these narcissistic people in Hollywood, even though they want to push their views on you, and they're, so dead set on telling you how you should live your life, how you should vote, what you should like, what you shouldn't like. Whenever that fails and blows up in their face, what do they go back to? What they should have been doing in the first place, keeping their head down, doing their job. However, we find that some of them are just completely out of touch. Maybe the agents were just doing their job. Maybe they actually cared about the career because that is their job to make sure that that person succeeds and trying to provide the best ways forward for that actor. He just seems like a snarky cunt to me, and I don't apologize for saying it. I haven't really ever liked The Rock. I didn't watch wrestling that much. Sting was my favorite. But as far as the movies goes, like, he's passable. I don't know why he's showing up in absolutely everything, but Kinda like Nick Cage, sometimes he's good, a lot of the times he's bad, a lot of the times it's dismissible, but that's how you build your resume is doing stuff. So I could agree if he had just said something like that, but the fact that he comes with so much hubris is really off-putting to me. But what do you guys think about it? Now that the election is over, now that everything has been decided, are you happy that actors are finally going back to talking about fucking acting again? I am, but I'm still gonna call them when they fuck up. This is Multi from the GCA, and y'all take care. We'll see you this evening on Late and Gay. Bye.